What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today, when I talked about SoFi, pretty interesting day. I want to go over some of the current data points, break down what exactly happened, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So SoFi did go down 3.02%, largely piggybacking off of the broader market's pullback. A lot of analysts came out for blood today. So a lot of analysts came out saying that they feel like the broader market, so not necessarily just SoFi, but the broader market is overdone and does need to pull back. In fact, I even said that exact same thing on my video on Sunday when I went over some expectations for this week. The first sign of weakness, you are going to see a pretty significant pullback with SoFi and a lot of other stocks out there. I did in fact refer to this, so the S3. I didn't anticipate it all to happen in one day. I kind of figured it was going to be spaced out a little bit more, but I guess here we are. So after hours, it did touch this S3. So after hours is pulling back down about 2.59% over and above that. Crazy stuff. 37.5 million shares being traded. 42.7 is the average. These are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. So some pretty big ones. 1.33 million, 7.74 million as far as first thing as well. So 6.63 million. Like I said, anything that does show a ask is a buy based on the bid, the ask, and the selling price. So that's kind of a good thing. I'm sure some of you are wondering, it's like, well, if every big money is buying behind the scenes, then what the hell happened to SoFi? Why did it go down? Algorithmic trading. That seems to be the key word for 2024. A lot of institutions want to take the emotion out of trading, so they're relying on AI. So technically, they're just hitting a lot of the broader market with a lot of smaller transactions. 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. So they won't necessarily be making this list because this list only shows over $100,000 transactions. So as crazy as it is, the AI is kind of pulling the broader market down. And like obviously I already mentioned, that's kind of what analysts are forecasting as well. So let me know your thoughts on that. Specific to SoFi, there was no actual SEC filings, no press releases, nothing like that. There was a new analyst rating that did come out today from KBW, Michael, who does have a 64% success rating. So that is kind of good in my opinion, especially compared to a lot of other analysts. But they did give a sell rating and a $6.50 price target. Oddly enough, I've never understood why, but SoFi is very influenced by new analyst ratings, especially when it comes to Wedbush. I still feel Wedbush, or David, whatever his name is, he knows someone big, because whenever Wedbush gives a stupid price target, SoFi just massively tanks. But regardless, David only does have a 39% success rating, so take that with what you will. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor either. You guys do your own due diligence. I feel like he is due for a new rating. I feel like he kind of looks stupid with the $3 price target, so hopefully he should up it maybe to at least 8 to just be fair. I'm not really sure. He's overdue. It's been, I think, one whole month since he's given a rating. But still, moving on, that is what is influencing SoFi today. Like I said, last couple of videos, it is going to be a very fun-filled week because starting off with tomorrow, it is going to be the FOMC meeting minutes, and then Thursday and Friday, two very big indicators linked to consumers. So a lot of that can either help the broader market continue its rally that obviously ended 2023 in, or it might continue to break down on the technicals. As far as shorts, I'll give you a good overview of everything that you need to know, but shorts did increase about 38.75 thousand shares. 13.74% of the free float is being shorted, and 122.83 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 0.49%. And as I've said in the past, I do not see SoFi being a short squeeze play whatsoever. I'm just bringing this up more as a benchmark rather than anything. So the fact that they were kind of stagnant, because right here you do see that there's around 10 million shares available to be shorted, and with cost to borrow average, or just cost to borrow so cheap, like shorts could technically just double down and it'd be absolutely no cost to them, but they're not, because they do see more upside coming. So that's just my own opinion. So I see this as bullish, the fact that they're not really doubling down. Other stocks such as Lucid and some other ones I cover under my other channel, Financial Journey, shorts had their way with them today. So they've been doubling down. So I feel like them doing absolutely nothing today is kind of a positive thing. Looking at options though, so today there was $8.99 million in calls being purchased versus 2.83 million in puts. Very evenly divided sentiment wise. So a lot of people don't necessarily know where SoFi might be going based on this, because SoFi is just going to be as well dragged down with the broader market. Even though they might have some pretty kick-ass earnings, like they still might be dragged down. So that's something just to kind of consider. And this is why, like I've said on previous videos, I like to sell puts, because then technically it's a win-win. If it doesn't go below your strike, you get some easy premiums. If it doesn't, or I mean, if it does, then you get to buy a stock that you like at the price that you like. So it's a win-win. Always suggesting doing research on options, because they are a beast of their own. Of the call options that were purchased today, there is a consensus that it is going to be above $10. So that might be a pretty positive thing. Looking at the puts though, it is anticipated for it to be sub 850. So that is very, very extreme based on all this. So like I mentioned, it did close today at 965. So technically it was between this S2 and this S1. After hours, it did get dragged back down into this S3 to this S2. So going into tomorrow, you'll really want to watch that 931 and potentially even this 960 to hold. Vice versa, 977, $10, and then 1006 are going to be the strong resistance points. But no matter what, I feel like tomorrow is going to start either the nice rally or it is going to continue to break down. If it does break down, you can kind of look at the 1 day just for some very strong support levels outside of what I mentioned. So that would be essentially 920 and then 794. Very wide gaps right here though. So like I mentioned, just anticipate a hell of a lot of volatility. Looking on these data points that I like to look at, momentum shows number of retail investors have been getting out over the last several days, whether it be profit taking or whatever. Let me know your thoughts why retail has been getting out. Stochastic though, you do see it at 86, which technically is still considered overdone, so meaning overbought. You do also see a deviation, so red line above the black, showing a bearish sentiment is starting to form. So what's your thoughts on SoFi? Do you think it is going to retrace back down into high 8s, mid 8s, or what's your thoughts? Or do you think it is going to continue to rally up until the 10s or plus? So what's your thoughts on all of that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Give yourself a shout out. Have you been buying SoFi? Have you been selling? What have you been doing with SoFi behind the scenes? And like I said, hopefully everyone has had an amazing new year. 2024 hopefully will be a lot better than 2023, even though based on SoFi's stock, it did do rather well. So over the last 1 year, like I said, about 114%. So hopefully it'll be 200%, maybe. That'd be absolutely amazing and epic, but who knows? Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And with all that said, I appreciate all of you watching.